just a little bit.
Right. Thank you, Matt.
New this morning, an early morning crash on the north side of Minneapolis required a major emergency response. This is 94 southbound at the Dowling exit. Looks like a wrong-way collision. At least 2 people were taken from that crash in 2 different ambulances. State Patrol still working on this. They tell us it's not clear how badly the people involved were hurt. They are still investigating what went wrong. There will be major negotiations on Capitol Hill this week. Try to come up with one version of tax reform.
The House tax bill and the Senate tax bill, they have some major differences. In most of the country, they don't like what they've heard about the Republican tax plan. CBS News found only 20% of Americans think it would decrease their taxes, with 76% feeling large corporations would benefit the most from it. President Donald Trump played golf over the weekend in West Palm Beach, Florida, with Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. It was an effort to shore up GOP support in the mounting headwinds. Cautiously optimistic Republican Senator Susan Collins is withholding support until she sees the final version. Collins wants her amendment to eliminate automatic cuts to Medicare. She wants that included.
But I don't want seniors to have the anxiety of wondering whether the tax bill somehow is going to trigger a cut in Medicare.
President Trump tweeted this yesterday, getting closer and closer on the tax cut bill, shaping up even better than projected. House and Senate working very hard and smart. End result will be not only important, but special.
Tomorrow, Alabama voters go to the polls in a special election that could send embattled candidate Roy Moore to the U.S. Senate. This weekend, Moore maintained his innocence. In the face of several sexual misconduct allegations, he called the accusations nothing more than a political attack. His opponent, Doug Jones, is trying to rally the African-American vote to help him become the state's first Democrat elected to the Senate in 25 years. Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar was asked yesterday about who should take Senator Al Franken's seat. Klobuchar said that Franken told her personally that he does plan on stepping down by the end of the year. She wouldn't say who she prefers to take Franken's spot, but she said she trusts Governor Mark Dayton to make the right decision. She also said she believes that future sexual harassment allegations involving lawmakers shouldn't all be looked at the same.
Senator Franken resigned because he felt he could no longer serve Minnesota, and it was not an easy day for anyone, for those that support him or those that didn't support him. And I think you have to look at each case on a case-by-case basis.
Senator Klobuchar said she believes Governor Dayton will make a decision on Franken's replacement within the next few days.